Hi everyone, this is Sharon Foley.
And this is Adam Jordan.
And as promised, we're coming to you live with a Power Moves Tracker quick session.
All right, by the end of this session, you should be able to describe the purpose of the Power Moves Tracker and how it supports various meeting structures, and understand the criteria and expectations for completing the tracker. To get us there, we'll go through quick framing, discuss the criteria in the tracker, and then outline the due dates for the tracker.
So the Power Moves Tracker will provide a standardized, zoomed out look at Power Moves for all of our schools, and additional data on the constructs of school turnaround for our Prove the Possible schools. ARC trackers, on the other hand, will provide a zoomed in and differentiated snapshot of data around criteria in each region's ARC at that moment in time. The ARC tracker will only be focused on the current key actions in the ARC, and therefore will likely not include all of the Power Moves. With the ARC and Power Moves trackers, regional superintendents, the BZA team, DCAs, and heads of schools will have the ability to support each other and schools with focus on the ARC, while being able to ensure that no Power Moves fall through the cracks, determine next steps in areas of focus, and plan support based on overall trends.
Some more details on the Power Moves Tracker include that it will be completed by the heads of schools. While it would be nice if achievement specialists or others could make the entries, the others may not have a complete view of the school, as they may only support one subject or a specific grade level. So achievement specialists and other teammates should absolutely be consulted on the entries, but it is up to the heads of schools to ensure the entries are as representative of a school as possible. The Power Moves Tracker will be filled out bi-weekly for our Prove the Possible schools and monthly for all other schools. It will support a number of meeting structures, but the heads of schools and their check-ins with the regional soups checking in with CEO, DCAs checking in with CAO, and then the other various meeting structures like the Tuesday regional meetings, Friday Prove the Possible deep dive, BZA APMs, and other internal meeting structures.
The ARC trackers are regionally created and owned. Both of these trackers will support many of the same meeting structures. The Power Moves Tracker and the ARC tracker will be combined, so you only have one tracker to access. So the particular sections of your tracker that are rooted in ARC2 really zooms in, ARC2 for right now, and then other ARCs moving forward, zooms in to capture the inputs aligned to your ARC metrics, and will be differentiated by each region. Similar to the Power Moves Tracker, heads of schools will complete that, also with the input and support of different members of the team, such as achievement specialists, where possible. The frequency of this is really up to the region's discretion, and similar to the Power Moves Tracker, this can be used for a variety of meetings as a data point. Could be used in one-on-one check-ins with the and with the DCA and the CAO, during Tuesday regional meetings, during regional APM meetings, etc.
While the criteria in the tracker are measurable, there is not one consistent source for the data. Some of the data will come from Whetstone, some from school-based trackers, some from submitted lesson internalizations, and so on. We recognize to get the Power Moves Tracker filled out, it is not possible to get an exact quantitative measure for all criteria. Because of this, we will all be great teammates by being honest about the entries we make into the tracker while being as precise as possible. A layer to support calibration and precision on entries is to have evidence. If a school is rated as proficient or exemplary, there is an expectation that data and artifacts can be provided to justify that rating. These artifacts can serve as exemplars to share within and across regions to provide that extra layer of support. Please ensure the evidence and artifacts will be easily accessible for any meeting structure that the tracker may support. One efficient way to do this would be to hyperlink the rating to a folder containing the artifacts. For example, if a school is rated exemplary at intellectual prep, then a head of school can hyperlink exemplary to the school's lesson plan Google Drive.
So now let's take a deeper look at the criteria. As we do this, you may want to have that one pager that we gave you at the convening in front of you. It has the Power Moves tracker slide on the front, and then on the back, you'll see all of the criteria for each of the Power Moves. Each category has 3 criteria, and schools receive their rating based on the number of met criteria. Again, to the best of our ability and with evidence to support, heads of schools will rate each school within the categories. So go ahead and take about 45 seconds now to just skim through the criteria. Just a quick note that on the one pager, there are 3 other criteria that are not on this slide. They are intervention, closing the gaps, academic progress monitoring for Prove the Possible schools only, and focus on reading achievement for Prove the Possible schools only.
As you read over the criteria, it would be important to note now what criteria will be most difficult for you to measure and start thinking about who or what you can leverage in order to get a pulse on those difficult criteria. If you have questions or concerns, please reach out to myself or any of the other BZA team members or your DDI lead to start talking about those difficulties.
So to close us out, just to stamp the due dates. For Prove the Possible schools, the Power Moves tracker should be submitted for Friday, Prove the Possible deep dives, and the 2 weeks that follow that. And then for other schools, their Power Moves tracker should be updated and submitted prior to Regional Tuesday data dives.
Thank you very much, and please reach out with any questions.